How to add your own domain name to your TekMatix account. What's up, techies? I'm Sarah, and I am so excited to share with you that when you have your TekMatix account, you can basically run it as if it's your own site. So your users, your customers, your students won't even know that you're using TekMatix. You can connect not just one domain, but multiple domains to your TekMatix account, meaning that you can have landing pages and funnels all showing the domain names of chosen domains that you own. How cool is that? Luckily, it's not that hard to do either. Now, first of all, there is a help article on our tekmatix.com site. Go to help, and there is an article on how to connect different domains, the difference between an A name and a C name. I will explain that briefly right now, and how to find the different little records and DNS settings in different domain hosts. So the first thing you guys are going to need to do is actually have your own domain name. This is your own www.something.com. If you don't have one yet, you're going to need to go to something like Google Domains or GoDaddy or Namecheap or Bluehost, any of those different domain sellers, and buy your own domain. This will give you your own www.something.com site. Once you have that, you're going to log in to that back end and find what's called DNS settings. Once you've got your DNS settings, you're going to be able to follow the next steps. So logging in to your TekMatix account, you're going to click on your main menu over on the left-hand side, scroll down to the bottom and click on settings. From there, you're going to go to domains. Click on domains, and you can see here I've added my TekMatix domain so far, but you will have nothing showing here if you've just set up your account. So you're going to click on add a new domain, and what you're going to do first of all is pop in your website's domain URL here. Then you're going to have a choice of creating what's either called an A record or a C name. Now, let me sort of in very, I'm going to use the word dumb, but in very sort of dumbed down terms, let me explain the difference between an A name and a C name. So in the very simplified explanation of this, an A record means that this would literally be your website. So if you went into your DNS settings in the back and you create what's called an A record, that means that your www.something.com is literally hosted on your TekMatix account, meaning if somebody typed in www.yoursite.com, they would be completely directed to your TekMatix site, and you wouldn't have any other website anywhere else. If you create a C name, then your TekMatix account becomes what's called a subdomain of your existing domain. So if you already have a website that's live out there in the world, you are probably going to want to create a C name, and creating a C name actually will not touch or impact or affect your existing website in any way whatsoever. A C name will leave your existing website completely alone. It will remain hosted where it is. Your pages, your sites, and everything will be completely untouched. What it will do as a C name is simply create a sub website under that existing website for your TekMatix account. So as an example, my website, sarahcordiner.com, is hosted on Google Domains. It has its own existing WordPress website. It's been up there for years. I'm not going to move anything or touch anything on that site. But what I've done is created a C name for Sarah Cordiner so that my TekMatix account is courses.sarahcordiner.com. A subdomain is basically a sub account or a sub website that would be like academy.yourwebsite.com or courses.yourwebsite.com or offers.yourwebsite.com. So it leaves your main website alone. It just creates these sub websites underneath that you can dress up your TekMatix account as if it belongs to, is part of your existing site. So if you have no other existing website and you want TekMatix to be your website, you're going to create an A record. If you have an existing website that you want to leave alone and not affect, but you just want to create a subdomain for your TekMatix account to sit on, then you're going to create what's called a CNAME record. So simply go into your DNS settings, create an A record where it will ask you to paste in this particular code, and your code might be different, by the way, to the one you're seeing on my screen here. And that will create an A record, and that will just completely redirect your domain to your TekMatix account. Or inside that DNS settings, select the create a CNAME record, and it will say, where do you want to send it to? Send it to that. And boom, you will all be set up. Now, it will take a few minutes, maybe sometimes a couple of hours to propagate. So if it's not instantly working, don't panic, give it a moment, all right? Let it load for a few hours. If you're having trouble after a few hours, you may want to get one of our tech experts to help you. So by the way, depending on who you're with, GoDaddy, all those kinds of people can actually do this for you. If this totally freaks you out, phone them. They will actually walk you through this. And what you will simply need to say to them is, I want to create a CNAME and it needs to point to this. And they will literally do it for you, or taking over your screen, or walk you through it on a phone call. So your domain host can actually just do this for you. If you are new to TekMatix, you actually do get a free onboarding call with one of our tech experts. One of our tech experts can actually do this for you in your onboarding call as well. You can, if you've already had your onboarding call, also hire one of our tech experts for an hour. That is a paid service. But you can hire them for an hour and they will actually do this for you, take over your screen and set that up as well. Make sure it's done properly. There is a how-to video if you're stuck on that. But otherwise, it should be fairly straightforward. Have confidence. You can't destroy your websites, by the way. If you do create an A record and you've got an existing website, you can undo it. So don't freak, don't panic. If you create a CNAME, you can actually create multiple CNAMEs. You can have unlimited CNAMEs in pretty much all DNS settings on websites. So again, don't freak out, don't panic. This stuff isn't going to break. You're not going to explode your website. You will be okay. So there you go. That's how you're going to add domains. Now, the cool thing is you can have multiple domains here. So I've got TekMatix here. I might own fairygardensomething.com, right? So I can actually add another domain and I can have fairygardensomething.com here as well, meaning that inside my TekMatix account, I can create different websites with different domains and host them all in this one TekMatix account. I can create funnels for different businesses inside your one TekMatix account. Yes, really. So, when I say that TekMatix is awesome, I really mean it. You can now start running multiple businesses all from one single TekMatix account, being able to host websites, web pages, funnel pages, and everything from multiple domains in one place. I know, it's cool. If you've got any questions, contact us on support@tekmatix.com. Don't forget to book in with a tech expert if you're stuck and just want to hire one of my team for an hour to help you out with this. Otherwise, happy teching!